Hey there. Today I'm talking about creation and creativity and self-expression. And yeah, so basically the message of this video is that creation is messy. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that and what that means for you. Um, so basically whenever we want to accomplish something and we have all these structured and somehow clean and ordered ideas in our head how it's going to look like, and then we try to get there in a very clean and structured way, and oftentimes it's really difficult to do that. Um, so for example, if you think of a picture that you're drawing in your head with your eyes, like in front of your eyes, if you close your eyes, it might look really beautiful and clean, and what you want to draw in your head looks so nice, but when you draw it, it that's not really how it works. Like, you cannot just draw what you see. It will look completely different. So only over time and with many repetitions, with training your technique and finding the little nuances of different techniques, like using shadow, using different stroke techniques, you will find out sort of a way that actually puts on paper what was in your head, right? Um, the same is true for any kind of form of self-expression. And I'm using the term self-expression very broadly here. I think that kind of the most profound form of self-expression is uh, basically your entire life, how you create your lifestyle and your everyday experience, because you do have a large impact on that. Um, so when we look in your life, it's the same story. We have all these ideas, like first you go to kindergarten, then you go to primary school. In Germany, then you go to one of the advanced schools, and if you went to high school, you can go to university afterwards. Then you get a job and so on. Um, but that's not how reality unfolds. Uh, so life is not linear like that. It's not structured. It's messy and kind of random. Uh, I don't think it's actually random in a way. Maybe it could be, I'm not sure, but at least it's really, really complicated in a way where uh, one decision can kind of have unforeseen consequences in, like, immediately, or like a few decades down the line, somehow, with like a snowball effect or a butterfly effect. Um, so realizing this kind of discrepancy between how we think about creation and how creation actually happens, uh, yeah, is a very valuable insight. And basically, I mean, you hear this advice, everyone, like, at least I find this advice a lot on Twitter, for example, that says just start doing something, just create and go from there. Don't start with your preconceived notion of how something is going to go down, and then try to make that process work. No, just start with something, and with a lot of iterations and a lot of repetitions, figure out how to improve it. Um, so if you look into poetry, it's the same. Just start writing. Just put something on paper and let creation basically happen by itself. When you write something, it will invoke new feelings in you. You will notice which words you like, which words you don't like, what small changes in like switching two sentences in a poem or changing one word for another has an effect. You will notice these effects, and so basically the advice that is given a lot and which I agree with is have a bias for action, and I'm guilty of not following this advice still and not having followed it for a long time. For example, I'm really happy that I started with this YouTube channel. This is my 5th video, I think, and it took me quite a few years to actually do it. I had some appearances here and there before, and it was also a very stressful experience for me to talk in front of the camera. Yeah, but now, for example, this is the first video where I have a mic. I just bought it. You can see it here. It's my mic, and I hope that, for example, the audio quality in this video is much better than in my previous ones. But I'm happy that I didn't think about buying a mic first before recording my videos, because I just started and I'm still figuring out like video editing. Like, I'm not editing my videos, for example, right now. I might get a better camera and so on, but it doesn't really matter. All of that is polishing and improvement. What was important to me is to just go out into the world and raise my voice and share that with the world. And I have received so much positive resonance. Like, old friends reached out to me again, like, hey, I saw your video. They actually gave me some advice, which microphone I can get and so on. So many friends told me that they really like what I'm doing, and it's just such a nice feeling. I started kind of meeting new people online who are also doing YouTube videos and so on, and all of that sort of just happened. And this is exactly what I mean with like creation is messy. I didn't create videos because I wanted to meet people, for example. I just did it because, yeah, I like to speak about my thoughts, and I like to share my thoughts with the world. And it helped me already. Like, just doing that helps me already. And then any kind of resonance, any feedback I receive is like a bonus on top, which is a really amazing bonus. But even without the bonus, I'm already happy. Yeah, and I do think that creation is sort of a skill that you can improve in, like naturally. For example, if you write a lot of poems, you can improve yourself, obviously, right? We all have this experience. We all have things that we did multiple times and we noticed some improvement. But still, it's kind of, it's hindering your impact and your progress if you start from the perspective of I want to create something great. Don't worry about creating something great. Just create stuff and learn from that and see what you like and what you don't like and go from there. Couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I received really nice advice from Visa Khan. You might know him from Twitter. He's like the Twitter thread guy, and basically his advice to me was be prolific. So prolific was a new word to me back then, and it basically means having a large body of work somehow. So one of the catchphrases he's like popular for is like do X 100 times. For example, create 100 YouTube videos or create 100 paintings. And I think this is really nice motivational advice to just go out there and do things and create. And it's sort of a once you start, it has an own dynamic, it has an own momentum, and it will keep you going. So when I released my first YouTube video earlier this week, actually, it had taken me a lot of I don't know the English word right now. I needed to overcome a lot of inhibition, I think it's a word. So I had a lot of resistance to releasing a YouTube video, and now it's not even 1 week later, and this is already my 5th video, and I'm enjoying this process a lot. Like every video I do, I really enjoy. And I'm figuring out small things here and there, how to improve them. For example, now I'm trying to do little shorter videos, then I have like 2 really long videos, and now I have a new mic. I might change something about my lighting setup and so on. And it sort of just happens by itself. I just basically tinker around a bit here and there and see how things change, and if I do this like 100 times more, and probably all the small little changes will like add up to a very noticeably better quality. And yeah, in the end, what I care about is my message and what I talk about. All the other stuff is kind of like the sugar on top, the garnishing, you know. But even for my message, even for the thoughts I have, there's the same process. I will figure out ways to express myself more clearly. For example, I will figure out new topics that are interesting to cover for me, or maybe I will add some graphics to illustrate the point better, and so on, you know. So yeah, really, if you think about your life as a creation, which I think it is, don't approach it with some certain preconceived notion of how it should look like, how it should go down. Life is not a structured or clean process. Life is really messy, and I do think that it's super beautiful. Sort of, probably most of my really like fulfilling experiences or moments somehow happened by themselves in a way, and it's kind of I think it's kind of an inner mentality where like you have your intentions and you have your goals, let's say, and you're moving in that direction, but you also kind of let the universe take over and let things happen. And the beauty about that is, if you don't have preconceived notions, kind of the universe's creational power is much higher than you can ever dream of. So if you come in with this relaxed attitude to just let the universe take over, things will happen that you could not have dreamed of before. So yeah, let things happen by themselves, and kind of let the messy creation happen. Yeah, thank you.